This book is meant to get people into a conversation. That's what we're hiring this book to do. Because until you get into a conversation, nothing changes. So this is the first in a series. And so that all this planning has involved more than just one book. And the interesting thing is that we've used that reference before. We've talked about, repetition is your best teacher, and which it is. That's completely legitimate. So this book, and Rich was telling me about this Amazon Kindle strategy where so you mark down the book and you promote it, and like you can become a world bestseller in about 4 minutes. And so it's great. I thought the check, like I was checking my mailbox this morning, I thought we were going to get like $1 million from like the Amazon Bestseller Academy.
Hey, thanks for doing this in record time. Here's a check for $1 million. And
Amazon's basically in your house at this point anyway. They're going to deliver like Amazon yesterday. Hey, here's your award. Here you
go. Totally. But this is super exciting because we're trying to make these books so easy to read. We refer to it, from what we learned from Dan Sullivan, the Toronto to Chicago kind of rule of thumb, where you could get on an airplane in Toronto, destined for Chicago, and by the time the wheels touch down in Chicago, you finish the book. And that's why there's illustrations in there. So we're really catering to people. Illustrations meaning, graphic images to cater to people's different styles of learning and different styles of retaining information. And this book would not be possible without this guy. And this guy, R. Nelson Nash, our late mentor, who just serves as a daily inspiration for us and for our clients, who not only the ones who were blessed to have known him and to have met him and spent time with him, but for people who are just coming into our ecosystem now and who are getting a sense of who R. Nelson Nash was. And our reading material is never going to serve as a replacement for becoming your own banker, for building your warehouse of wealth, the case for IBC. It's going to serve as complementary, just as an extension, because we spent so much time with Nelson that he's helped us to rethink our thinking. And so it's one thing to get a copy of his book and then to look at this and say, oh, I wonder what else I'm going to learn. It all begins with becoming your own banker. It all begins there. That's the foundation. And then this is just us sharing with the world what we learned from Nelson and how we have rethinked our thinking over the years. I can't be any more excited than I am for today, the launch of this. Honestly, we don't want anybody calling us from Barnes and Noble, or do they even still exist? From any of those companies to say,
hey, we'd love to have your book on our shelf.
This book is meant to get people into a conversation. That's what we're hiring this book to do. Because until you get into a conversation, nothing changes. And so we want you to read it and get into a conversation with the right person on our team so that you can begin to embark on that journey of transforming things financially in your life. Isn't that good?
Oh, it's great. And I think I'd like to just read the dedication we have here, because you talked about it, this is about Nelson, and we've stated that in the dedication. This book, along with every future book in the Wealth Without Bay Street series, is dedicated to the memory and the legacy of our mentor, R. Nelson Nash. And to our clients now and in the future, to all who have chosen to embrace Nelson's powerful concept in their lives, and to the members of the Nelson Nash Institute who passionately share Nelson's message of financial hope. So we're not in this alone. We're in this together. This is something that's about bringing people together and sharing Nelson's message, because his message and his concept has an ability to have a radical impact on the financial world, not just your financial life, but the more and more people that embrace this. And Jayson, you came out to visit me here in Chilliwack. We had a couple fun days, spent some time at the river and everything. And I remember we did a really nice long walk along the Vedder River, and we were talking about what can we do to help expand Nelson's message and get it out there bigger. And the idea of the concept of building the 10%. And for people who are watching maybe that don't know, that's the idea that you can get 10% of the population or financial professionals, which then extends to 10% of the population embracing this type of an idea and helping people get the right type of coverage that allows them to stockpile capital into a well-designed contract that is non-inflationary, okay, and remove ourselves from this dependency on a fractional reserve system. So the ripple effect of that activity has a positive, outward, kind of light that just spreads out into the financial world, and it can really have a large impact. Now, that's not going to happen overnight, but it's okay because I'm in it for the long haul, and I know you are too.
Oh, all day long. And, in conversations that I've been having this week, and I literally, since returning from, sabbatical this year again and getting into discussion with people this week, I haven't stopped talking about the feedback that I'm getting from people who have been implementing this process in their lives before COVID and before this rapid inflation, before all of this political instability, before all of this economic uncertainty. And the feedback that I'm getting in these policy reviews is a sense of relief, a sense of safety, a sense of everything's fine. Yeah, when I go to the grocery store, I used to buy an avocado for 84 cents. Now it's $42. Yeah, I understand that stuff is happening, but I feel safe and comfortable, and my mind is at ease that my warehouse of wealth is growing every single day without interruption. And people have heard you and I espousing that and trumpeting that from the rooftops for years, but we never experienced what we've gone through since 2020 and what's been happening here most recently and what's going to happen in the future. All this stuff, this nonsense that's coming out. I mean, pretty soon you and I won't be able to smile on these episodes because we're going to get taxed. If people are in this utopian frame of mind, or if they believe that this nonsense is going to stop, then I would just encourage you to rethink your thinking. And it is a process. It is taking all of the financial resources that you have already allocated and prioritized and saying, listen, I don't want to change my cash flow. I don't want to change my financial objectives that I have. I don't want to wake up one morning and realize that taxes are going to continue to erode everything that I'm working so hard to build and to provide for my family, my employees, my causes and charities, whatever that is. You can shield yourself from it. And the longer you wait, the more you penalize yourself. That's the point that we're trying to get across. And people who catch it, the proof's in the feedback. Like, don't take our word for it, honestly. Just go on to the Googles, look at hundreds, and that is hundreds, plural, of these reviews that people are leaving on the Googles about us and their experience with us. And it's specific feedback about what they value and what we're providing that they value. And so welcome aboard, like step on board. You can do this. And if we believe that the government's going to need less money going forward, then we probably need a psychiatric evaluation today. But if we believe that there's going to be further encroachment, much further encroachment, then shield yourself from it. Unlock that vault and start getting financial resources in there so that you're shielded from all this activity.
It's funny that you mentioned that, the need for more taxes to pay for all the debt and stuff, because one of our teammates, Henry, and I, we did a video. We talked about the Bank of Canada, and we looked at some of their and some of the financial statements and everything. We were talking about the increase in the money supply, and you can see it if you look at the reports. He's got like a spreadsheet showing like the 2016, 17, 18, 19, 20 and 21 like financial reports, and you can just see the explosion of increased like the amount of government debt that they've purchased. They increased their the balance sheet. It's a mind-numbing number, and it's just like a rocket ship. Yeah. And so there, that's obviously going to have an impact on inflation. We've barely even seen that yet because it hasn't had time to settle. But additionally, there was, we were talking about how all these bonuses got paid out to, these employees of the Bank of Canada for basically not doing their job. Their job is to maintain a modest level of inflation, and they didn't meet their mandate, but they got 45 million in bonuses, so that's obviously okay. But again, so this is the shenanigans that are going on, and I just did a live interview with a fellow on Instagram, and we were talking about fractional reserve a little bit, and one of the things that came up is what Nelson used to say. He would just say this to people, and listening in, just think about this for your own life. Do you ever have the gut feeling that there is something wrong or fundamentally wrong in the financial world that you live in? If the answer is yes, the answers exist. You just need to, well, right now, actually, just need to spend 99 cents to go and find them out. But your journey doesn't stop there. This is one cog in the wheel of understanding, and it all centers around the main spoke being Nelson and his message in his book.
If you look at things, if you rethink your thinking and you look at it from the vantage point of opportunity as well. So, for example, all the clients we have and all the clients that we want to have who are business owners, real estate investors, entrepreneurs. I just spoke to another entrepreneur this morning who said things just feel like they're a little slow out there. Said, if I may encourage you just to rethink your thinking, there's more money that exists in the world today than there ever has been in the history of mankind. What does that spell? Opportunity. So if you just look at it from a different perspective, a different vantage point, you can create more capital in your personal economy. It's one thing to create it. It's another thing to realize the truth that it has to reside somewhere. The money must reside somewhere. Just your present financial resources. And so get your hands on a copy of this book. We just want to offer this resource to you for a launch. This is going to retail paperback for $24. And if inflation keeps going, it'll be $3,800 a year from now. So get your hands on a copy today. Like, what are you waiting for?
It's funny you talk about opportunities, because that's chapter 4, becoming an opportunity magnet in the book, and we've got a little, we even got an image about what it's like to become an opportunity magnet, how that works by having access to a warehouse of capital. And
yeah,
that's the thing, is like there's lots of resources to learn about this concept, but some of them are digestible and some of them are not. And that's what we're trying to do, is we're trying to get this to be a digestible format. A lot of times we get asked by clients is, hey, I really want to share this with so-and-so, a friend, a neighbor, a coworker, a family member. And they're coming into maybe some kind of resistance for whatever. Like sometimes I get really animated and over exuberant about stuff, like new ideas that I have, because the ideas kind of like fly into my brain at about 100 miles an hour. And then you get really excited about it, you get pumped up, and then you start telling people, well, when you do that repeatedly over and over and over again, sometimes people are like, oh yeah, there's Richard again with another one of his ideas, right? So sometimes you get resistance from people wanting to listen to something new that's going on in your life. And I think this book is going to be really good for that purpose, because Nelson's book is, again, the core, but sometimes we just need to be able to open the door. And this is going to be a nice, easy, digestible book that's going to be able to help you even spread and share the message with people that love, and care about. And it's not maybe, some people who love, like some people love math and they love charts, and some people are just like, keep that stuff away from me. Like if it's got a chart in it, I'm not even going to open the book. Yeah. And here's where, again, our book is going to be able to complement Nelson's, because if you have somebody maybe who likes charts, Nelson's book's going to be really great, but maybe not for someone that doesn't like charts. It might be like intimidating to a degree. So this is going to be an option, I think, that's going to really, really help for our clients to share the message out really well.
Precisely. And yes, there will be an audio version of the book. So Richard's already taken care of that, sharing again with everybody. And there's going to be more details coming out about this series and how to participate in this series and the community that's going to create, and so many other amazing things. But this is the first book in a series. So we've already got a number of books that are in production right now as you're watching this. And it's a combination of manuscript after manuscript after manuscript that's going through the process, so that every quarter we've got a book that's coming out. And again, it's going to be phenomenal. So there's nothing like hearing Nelson say, when he referred to Becoming Your Own Banker, his book, which is now sold north of 500,000 copies. I was text messaging with Rich the other day because he's like, hey, the book just launched and we sold like 17, 16, 15 copies, whatever it was at that time. And I said, oh man, that's awesome. Like only 499,984 more to go. And we're going to get there. We're going to surpass 500,000 copies. That's going to happen. And it's going to happen in a series. But what Nelson described is he said, one reading of the book just won't get the job done. Because the more you see, the more you'll see you didn't see. And that's what inspired us to create the series, is to reinforce what Nelson taught us, which is the more you see infinite banking concepts, the process of becoming your own banker. And that's what gave rise to this whole idea of let's expand on that. Let's take what Nelson inspired us to do and expand on it. And man, what an exciting day. What a great thing to come back to after this time away, this sabbatical, to know that this was done, launched, ready to go. You know what's super cool too is that the feedback, I don't know if you've checked your email, but I'm getting a lot of email from folks who are saying, just picked up my copy, sincere congratulations. I've already read it. It's amazing. Like the feedback is great. Shannon from Strategic Coach reached out and said, I can't put this thing down. Like she bought it right away.
Oh, nice.
She messages, goes, I can't put this thing down. And I said, oh my goodness, I'm humbled. Thank you. Oh my God. Like, thank you so much. But when you've got great people who want to see you succeed, who want to help you, reciprocate, serve them too. You know, Justin Breen, another great guy, just wrote a great book.
Yeah. And also, he hit his bestseller. I left a great review. It's an awesome book. It's like 30 amazing tips for entrepreneurs and things that he's learned in the last number of years with building a global business. You know, it's fantastic.
And, he was kind enough to, he heard me say something one day and he's like, you're going to be in my book. And I was like, oh, okay. And then the book came out and he's like, you're in my book. Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate that. But he's one of the best connectors I've ever met in my lifetime. And he's going to be back on the show. We're going to serve him. And it's just, man, it's so awesome to just be able to do this and be able to bless other people's lives in a positive way and be able to help them set about a different course in life financially, and all the doors that it opens up, to the opportunities that it creates, and to the people that they'll meet. And when we, again, get all this exciting news out there about the series and the community we're building, and people's minds will be blown. So, you know, it's good.
I'm so super excited about today and the launch of this book. Of course, again, it's been a huge culmination of work, but I'm also really super excited for the next book that's coming out, because the next 3 that we basically have. And the next one, because I was having a conversation today, actually, on this live podcast I was doing about, you know, the power of the contract that underpins this beautiful tool that we use. Again, so separating the process and the tool, but you know, the fact that, you know, we've got this contract that creates this constant accumulation of cash value, and that the cash follows the leader. So I'm really pumped about that book as well. And there's a lot to be grateful for and a lot to be excited about. And so, yeah, great people in our life. We're surrounded by them. And man, I'm so great to be on the journey with you, and for all that you've done and helping me learn. You know, I wouldn't know about this if it wasn't for you. I wouldn't know about becoming a banker if it wasn't for you. So I appreciate you, man.
I love you, brother. We just want everybody to take advantage of this great offer, because again, this book is going to paperback at $24 and it's going to sell. And so get your copy. You'll be glad you did. And we just appreciate each and every one of you so much. Thank you. Thank you for all your support and trust. And let's go do great things together, and stay tuned for the series, because there's more books coming.
Awesome. All right. Thanks, man. Appreciate you.